Hey guys, it's Kelly and I am going to watch the Addams Family stage show tonight, which I am so excited about because I love the Addams Family, I love musicals, and the fact that they turned the Addams Family into a musical just completely blew my mind. So I thought that in honour of that, one, I'm wearing my Wednesday Addams dress to go and watch the show, and two, I thought that I would film a video sharing my favourite musicals that have been adapted from books with you. I know that the Addams Family hasn't been adapted from a book, but I'm just in the spirit of musicals now because I'm so excited for tonight, so I wanted to talk about them. I have 5 on my list. Some of them I've read the book, some of them I haven't. Most of them I haven't. So let's get into that. First on my list is Sweeney Todd, and I think that not a lot of people know this, but it was actually adapted from a book. It was originally published in like the 17 or 1800s, I think, as a serial in a newspaper, and it was published, I think, then under the name The String of Pearls, and no one's entirely sure who wrote it. Sweeney Todd is about a barber who, long story short, kills his victims, and his partner Mrs. Lovett bakes them into pies for her pie shop, and it's wonderful. It's macabre and funny, and the music is incredible, so definitely give this a watch if you haven't already. And something that I think a lot of people also don't know is that before it became a Stephen Sondheim musical, it was recorded as a number of like TV shows and movies, so I would really like to get my hands on some of those, but I found it quite difficult. So for now, I just have to appreciate the sheer genius of Stephen Sondheim, Tim Burton, Helena Bonham Carter and Johnny Depp. Next on my list is West Side Story, which is a retelling of Romeo and Juliet. It's set in fairly modern, compared to when Shakespeare wrote, New York. It's set in about the 50s, and it's about these 2 rival gangs, and Maria from one of the gangs falls in love with Tony from one of the other gangs, and you can pretty much tell where this is going. Next is one of my all-time favourite musicals. Guys, I can watch this over and over and over again. The film version, the stage version, I listen to the soundtrack all the time. I just love The Phantom of the Opera. And the film version, Gerard Butler is insane. Like, oh my goodness, he's so talented. This is set in an opera house in 18th or 19th century France, I think. And it's about this opera house that is tormented by this mythical phantom that people aren't really sure if he exists or not, or if he's just like someone playing a trick on them. In the story, there's a young girl called Christine who has lived at the opera house most of her life, training there as a ballet dancer, and Phantom starts to fall in love with her, and he trains her from when she's young to be this incredible singer. When the story starts, she finally gets the chance to get her break, and it's basically just about their love story and the way that he starts to influence and mould her career, and just wonderful. I haven't read the original book, but I have read another book which is just called Phantom. I forget who the author is, but if you can find that, it's an absolutely amazing story. It's about Eric, which is the Phantom's real name, and his journey before he comes to the opera house. You hear a lot of these references in the film and in the stage show to the Punjab lasso, and he has this music box that's very obviously Persian, and so that book just takes you through his life up until he gets to the opera house and tells you, you know, when he went to India and he received the Punjab lasso, when he was in Persia, when he got the musical box. I think he went to Persia, and it's just such an interesting book, so brilliantly written. I completely fell in love with Eric's voice. It's about his experience growing up with this facial deformity. There is a line in the show that references the fact that even his mother couldn't love him because of how he looked, and they explore that very deeply in the book, and it's just absolutely wonderful. It's a beautiful, heartbreaking story. I raced through it, and if you can find it, highly recommend it. Next on my list is Oliver, which I don't actually have a copy of, but it's a wonderful musical. It's very feel-good, upbeat, wonderful songs. Of the musicals on this list, Oliver is probably the truest to the source material. I haven't actually read Oliver Twist, but I have watched quite a few film adaptations of it, so I know the story of the book pretty well, and the musical mirrors that story almost exactly. It's about this orphan called Oliver who gets kicked out of the workhouse because he dares to ask for a second cup of that awful gruel that they give them, and the way that he finds Fagin and Dodger and their whole crew, and the way that they shape him and influence him, and just, oh, it's so good, guys. Go watch Oliver. And lastly, a musical that is really up there with Phantom for me, and that is Les Miserables, which is obviously based on the book of the same name by Victor Hugo, and I just love this film. It spans something like 50 years of France, a slightly alternate history, I think. It's about love, it's about heartbreak, it's about death, it's about pain, and there's heavy political undercurrent to it, and it is just amazing. And if you haven't watched the film version of it, do yourself a favour because this cast is phenomenal, so definitely watch this. I still have yet to watch the stage production, although I do have a copy of that, so I need to get to that soon, I think. I haven't read the book because it is very, very, very intimidating, but I would like to. It's on my sort of one-day TBR. Like, I'm not going to put it on a monthly TBR because I know I'm not going to get through that anytime soon, but I'd like to read it one day. So those are my 5 favourite musicals based on books, and I don't think I did a very good job of explaining them, but they're all quite famous, so you probably kind of know the storylines anyway, but just, I love them all. The music in them is so brilliant. The storylines are amazing, the acting in all of these is incredible, and I just really love musicals, guys. They make my heart happy. Let me know in the comments what your favourite musicals are, whether they're based on books or not. Also, here's an interesting question. What books do you think would make really good musicals? I'm voting for Akatar because I'd like to see Reese break into song. Yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all again very soon. Bye!